Okie dokie. So, I know I haven't made a video in a really long time, but, sorry. This video, and the song in the background is Running Up That Hill, Curly. But today's video is about the short second life of Bree Tanner. And my book has no book. My friend T is borrowing it so she can read it, and if T, do not watch this video because I'm talking spoilers. I really enjoyed the book. It gave me a lot of insight into the newborns, and actually, even after I actually finished this on Monday. Wait, was it Monday? Yeah, Monday. So, and then yesterday I saw clips, and I'll be making a separate video for that. But it actually helped me understand a lot of what was happening in the movie, which I didn't think it would, but it did. And I really loved Bree's perspective, and I found it interesting that, you know, Victoria made Riley, well, I don't know if Victoria made him, but I'm guessing she did, but Victoria telling Riley to tell all these newborns that, you know, that they're like traditional vampires. You know, if they go out in the sun, they will burst into flame and become ashes. And he basically, the way that Bree described it, basically sounded like she almost thought, you know, like they were gods, or like they were the only vampires in existence, and that, I found that was interesting. I loved the character of Diego. Diego was so cool. And I love that even though, you know, this was about the newborns and their army, Stephenie threw in a little bit of romance between Bree and Diego. I found it very interesting reading when they were in the underground cave, when, because the sun had come up, and Diego basically didn't believe Riley about, you know, we'll burst into flame if the sun touches us. So he kind of digged the hole where the sun can come in. And I found it interesting, you know, how terrified Bree was. I loved reading how absolutely terrified she was. And I love what, when they find out that they don't burst in flame, their skin glitters. I love Bree's description that they're walking disco balls. I thought that was hilarious. I also loved Freaky Fred. His power was really cool. I really thought his power was very interesting. And it also made me kind of think of, like, well, what could he have, like, done in his human life that would make him have that power? And, if you didn't read the book, I'm sorry, I'm going to spoil it for you, but Fred's power was, if you looked at him, you wouldn't be able to look at him because just the sight of him repulsed you, that you couldn't even stand to look at him that long. And Bree would hide behind him because no one would ever look over at Fred because they're repulsed, so she would be invisible, and that's how she mainly stayed alive. And I found out something that I didn't know, that I don't remember if it was written in the original books, but apparently with vampires, if a piece of your body gets broken off, all you have to do is, like, coat it with venom, and it just sticks right back to where it was. I thought that was interesting. I don't remember ever reading that in the originals. I could not believe. One part that I really was fascinated was that the Volturi came and talked to Victoria and Riley. So the Volturi knew about what Victoria was doing and planning, and they just let her go, which I thought, wow, interesting. And I know a lot of you that haven't read the book probably knew that because of the little clip from the movie with the Volturi standing watching them destroy everything. But still, I didn't know. I just thought that was interesting that they confronted Victoria, and they knew Victoria. Very interesting to me. Another interesting part was, you know, how vicious Jasper was, in a way, in, when Carl and Esme came across Bree, and, you know, they kind of said she gave up, and, you know, they were good with that, but Jasper wanted to kill her, and it was Esme. Esme was like, no, you're not killing her. She's a child. She surrendered. You're not killing her. And Jasper was not happy, but you don't cross Esme, I learned in this book. The part that I found really interesting was that the part where, you know, the Vulture are there and they're talking with the Collins, and then, you know, they're talking, and then Bree's talking to Jane about, you know, everything that's happened. There's parts where she basically is like trying to tell Edward, you know, they knew about Victoria. They knew way ahead of time. And they actually put, I don't recall, and I looked in the book, and they don't ever mention, you know, there's no signs that Edward knows that Jane and the Vulture, you know, went and saw Victoria, knew about Victoria. But what's interesting was they kind of put in the movie, because I'm going to talk about this now instead of later. I'll probably bring it back up again in my Eclipse review, but there's a part in the Eclipse movie where, you know, Edward mentioned it was Victoria, and Edward said something like to Jane, like, oh, you knew her. And Carl was like, oh, no, if they would have known about Jane, they would have stopped it. And I just found that interesting. Another thing, I actually almost cried in this book when, because Diego and Bree kind of formed a relationship, and then Diego said he was going to tell Riley about, you know, the son, because he didn't know if Riley knew. And Bree went back to the house that all the newborns were staying at, and then Riley comes in and Diego's not there, and Riley lies and tells Bree that Diego's with Victoria. And also, none of the newborns know her name. They all know her as her. And anyone shudders or gets scared whenever she's mentioned. But the saddest thing is, like, when they finally get to the battle and Bree finally gets there, she's frantically looking for Diego, trying to figure out a way to, you know, get him out of there without them getting attacked, and she realizes, oh my God, he's not here. He's dead. He has to be dead. And she's just heartbroken, and I felt so bad for Bree. In a way, it kind of made me wish, because when they were about to leave to go to the battle, Freaky Fred, he left. He went to, like, Vancouver, and he said he would wait a day for Bree, and then he would go off on his own. And in a way, I kind of wish Bree would have gone with Fred instead of going to find Diego. But can't always have a happy ending. Bree's about 16. I probably should mention at the beginning of the video. Apparently Riley would choose they're called drugs. I wish I had my book with me so I could pronounce it right, but I believe they're called drugs. And they're basically, you know, homeless kids living on the street, basically. And Victoria chains all of them. Victoria's the one that changes them because she's able to stop, unlike Riley. And Riley basically got Bree by, she was starving, and he offered her a cheeseburger, and she got turned. So, this is, once again, wonderful work by Stephenie Meyer. It was beautiful. I can't wait to see what her next project's going to be. And, anyone who hasn't read the book, I really recommend you do, because this will give you so much insight, not only not only to Eclipse the book, but also Eclipse the movie. So, that's about it. So, go read the book. Read it.